Okay, today we're going to be making a clay loom to weave on. It's a pretty simple project process. The first thing we're going to do is roll a slab. We've done this many times before, so I have my two boards here on either side that I can roll the slabs. I can go back and forth this way to make it a little bit wider, but then I want to, when I'm rolling down, I want to make sure that I don't get it any thinner than these boards. So that means my rolling pin needs to hit those boards on either side. Once I have that rolled out to the right thickness, I'm going to take this. I want to make some kind of a shape, outside shape. It can be organic, whatever the case may be. I would keep it fairly simple. When you get real crazy on these, it might be a hard shape to weave. So there's the outside of our loom, and then I need to cut away the inside of the loom. When you do that, you want to leave enough area here that it's not going to crack, but also have a big enough area that you can have a nice weaving in there. So give me at least a couple inches everywhere. Okay, so something like that. I'm going to pick this up. This will be recycled. We don't need this anymore. This is our loom. In the area of our loom, we'll want to kind of smooth these edges out because they'll be sharp if we don't. So just use your fingers and keep things nice and smooth. We want to have an odd number of holes made around here to put our strings on. You don't want the holes to be so close to the edge that they break through this way, or so close to this edge that they break through this way. Also not so far in that you're taking up a lot of space. So probably about right here. One, we start counting those. Don't get them real close together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have to have an odd number, so 20, 21. I'm going to put these a little bit closer together. You really don't want a lot more than that. Okay, most of those are not really even quite big enough now. And if you flip it over, you're going to see that they get even smaller. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to widen those holes from this side. Just very gently wiggle them in there. And if there's any edges that need to be smoothed out, make sure you do that, because if you have too many sharp edges, it could cut your string that we're going to be weaving with. So keep everything nice and smooth. I'm hoping we can get this part done in one day, literally. It shouldn't take too long. But if you don't get the hole made all the way through, or you can't get a needle through there, that's going to be a problem. So make sure that you make this big enough that you can get a plastic needle through it. Okay, it's looking pretty good from that side. Everything's kind of smooth. I'm going to flip it back over to the front side. And if any of that got messed up on the front side, we got to kind of fix that again. So make sure your holes are nice and big and smooth. The clay will shrink a little bit when it's drying, so you want a little bit bigger hole rather than a little bit smaller hole. And if one of these closes, then we won't have an odd amount of holes, and the weaving won't work out that very good. So, all right, smooth that up. Then I have a whole bunch of these. These are just little, the 8th graders made little stamps out of clay and plaster, and you can put some fun designs in here. I just thought it'd be fun to make some patterns. I really like that one with the circles in it. You can repeat these. Here's another circle one that was made. See what this looks like. Maybe I want to go with a whole circle theme here, but there are definitely other ones. Here's one that's just kind of roughens things up a little bit. So choose a few designs that you think you might like. Here's one with it's a dice. I don't know if you can tell that, but we pressed a dice down into there. Just when you're doing this, make sure that you aren't damaging your holes, because that's first and foremost. When you think you have this ready to go, We're going to put your name on it someplace where we'll be able to see it clearly. I'll probably put your name on it so I can read it. And then we'll take it to the back room and lay it out to dry. And once it's fired, we'll weave on it. That's all there is to it. I may have you put it actually on a board so that it can dry on a board. I'll show you that in class.